Hey, Chase, would the Falcons be making a mistake to keep Kirk Cousins?
No, on paper, no, because he's going to get paid $27.5 million this year to be the backup, plus a $10 million guaranteed roster bonus in 2026 salary. So all intents and purposes, he's making $37.5 million to back up Michael Penix. Okay, but if you cut him, you lose $65 million in dead cap. So do you want to cut him? Because no one's going to trade for his salary based on his injury history and based on how he played last year, correct? So it's really the only issue, the only thing that they can do. Look, he signed a 4-year, $180 million deal, like you said. But I think Michael Penix Jr. has what it takes to be a starter in the NFL. I don't think the Falcons are, you know, there's some pieces left, but that division, the NFC South, is very winnable. You could win 9 games next year and possibly win the division.
Baker does it every year.
You know what I mean? Baker Mayfield does it every year. So I think this is really good insurance, not only to teach Michael Penix sort of the game, because I don't think Kirk Cousins is going to be an issue in the locker room for everything that I've heard about it. He's going to help Michael Penix. He's going to know his job. He's getting paid handsomely to do it. I don't think there's any issue here at all. We know how important the position of backup quarterback is. And quite honestly, when you gave him that contract, your hands were tied. They don't really have a choice right here. I think it's good for the growth of Michael Penix. I think it's good if Michael Penix gets hurt, that you at least have a guy that can come in and has, yep, there you go, has won games at this point in his career.
Ugh.
But that's the thinking of the Falcons. You know what I mean?
The problem is, go ahead, Tufo.
Cole, hit the beat, because we just... Hit that beat. Hit the beat, Cole. It's a party, man. Trevor Lawrence, the highest paid, 50, he's weak. Right, Kirk Cousins ain't gonna play no more. He's gonna get $27 million to sit on the bench. Tua's hurt every year. He's making $5 million. Who else is bad as me? Dak Prescott got the most money out of everybody. And Niners, he got 2 playoff wins. This is a party. Everybody's a party, man. Like, cut the music. Can we be serious here? Like, we living in the world, man. Where I was hanging out last weekend, right? We were on break. Trent Williams. We just having a conversation about this football. And he's played a long time. I played a long time. So he's been on a lot of different areas. And we're just like, man, we're in an era where, like, the elite quarterbacks ain't even the highest paid guys. And now you can be like regular, average, and make elite money. Now we talking about Kirk about this.
Sit there and make $37 million.
The backup.
What? Yep.
I
don't even know what to say, man.
The hands are tied. You can't get out.
They tied their hands. That's what's frustrating me.
But it's still tied nonetheless.
Yeah, that's true. They didn't tie their hands when they gave him the contract. It's when they drafted Penix. That's what kills me. Like,
but aren't you smart if Penix works out, though? You know what I mean? Because you drafted a guy who we all think has it. So it might be that case, but everyone's looking for quarterback. But you're looking for the Jaden Daniels. You're looking. And I'm not saying he's going to be that at all. But you're looking for that next guy. So Terry Fontenot, the GM.
But this is my thing, Chase.
He made a choice.
I heard you, right? And you're the quarterback, so we need to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
Right now, we upset, so we're not directly upset with you. But it's more like, okay, every team does this. If we're going to draft the first-round quarterback, we're going to get a bridge quarterback. Guy like Baker Mayfield, guys like Sam Darnold, them type of guys.
Correct.
You go to the market and you pay Kirk the most money in the whole market, and then you get a number 8.
That part.
Like, if you
get married, why you still dating Chase, James? It don't make sense to me.
But it don't make sense.
If you get married, you married Kirk.
If you married to the game.
But you married to Kirk.
Oh, okay.
You feel me? Like, you married Kirk and you gave him a $180 million rock.
Guaranteed.
Bang.
100 guaranteed.
100 guaranteed.
Yeah.
And then you went on a date 3 months later.
In the honeymoon phase.
And not only that.
In the honeymoon phase.
You went on a date and you found you one.
Yeah.
You fell in love.
I love her.
So you married Kirk.
That happens.
And then not only did you go on a date, because it's one thing to go to Michael Penix Pro Day and just look at her. Hello. It's another thing to not only look at her, but then to ask her out. And it's another thing to not only look at her, ask her out, but now you got a whole goddamn
baby. You got baby tour now.
Come on, coach.
But
and then the wife don't want to leave.
So now you stuck.
They got a prenup, though. Their prenup is that division that they play in. And if they win a playoff game or get to the playoffs, you will say, forget about the money for the Falcons. It's going to be good.
So really quick, though, because how about Kirk, right? And I know it's a lot of money, so you probably don't want to walk away from a lot. But are you just sitting there done? Like your career's done?
Might be.
Because if you sit there on the bench for 2 more years collecting this check, nobody's going to make you their quarterback and franchise quarterback again. Your career is possibly going to be over. So if you're Kurt, do you come up there and say, listen, man, I know Penix is the starter. Y'all let me go.
It's a game, but you see that, but they're still going to have to pay some of his salary.
You know what
like, he's not giving up 30.
You can see him giving money back. You can see him giving money back to go start.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
like
he's made $300 million for a reason. This dude don't give up money.
So what's the cap? If they release him, what do they lose?
$65 million in dead cap.
And if they trade him, what does another team got to pay him?
Oh,
$30 million?
Trade value right now, Jay.
$40 million cap number next season, at $28 million guaranteed this season.
Can Matthew Stafford lead the Rams to a Super Bowl?
Lead the Rams or a team?
Oh, can he still lead a team?
Okay. Because he might not be on the Rams. Oh, but I said Vikings.
Good catch.
Okay,
Good catch. Chase, you think Stafford can still lead a team to a Super Bowl?
Absolutely. Look, the Rams and Matthew Stafford, they started 1-4 last year. They went up to Philly in a snow game, and Matthew Stafford played amazing. They were a blown protection away from going to the NFC Championship game with that young of a roster. Now, I know you're getting rid of Cooper Kupp. You got Puka Nacua. You got Kyron Williams. You got probably one of the best young defensive cores in the NFL. Chris Shula, the defense coordinator, did an outstanding job. But when you look at Matthew, and I was with him in 2020, and we grew up in the same point. He went to Highland Park. I went to South Lake. Knew each other growing up a little bit, knew each other in college. When he went to Georgia, I went to Missouri. And the thing about him, which, look, he's excellent throwing the football. He's excellent on the field. He's excellent with protections. He's really smart. The dude's a killer. Like, he's got a killer mindset. Like, he's probably one of the most competitive guys I've ever shared the field with. He's one of the strongest and toughest dudes I've ever shared the field with. Because even when he's hurt, he ain't hurt. Even when he's injured, he's not injured. Like, he's dealing with so many things. He's 37. For me, if you put a team around him and he has good protection, because I think that's paramount for him at an older age, the dude can slice you up. Like, I think he's a top 5 quarterback in this league. And quite honestly, he's at times can move into that top 4 category with his play. He didn't start well last year. He played really well down the stretch. It's crazy to think that the Rams are going to move on from him if they don't get him the contract that they will, because I just don't know if you're the Rams who you're going to replace him with.
That's well said. You know what's interesting? Can Stafford still be a part of a Super Bowl team? Yes. Can he lead a team to a Super Bowl? That's where I had to wrestle with this and say, that's to assume Stafford led his team to the Super Bowl the last time. Aaron Donald.
You mean lead like carry?
Yeah, I'm like, I was thinking about it, I'm like, Aaron Donald is walking into the Hall of Fame.
No question.
Von Miller is walking into the Hall of Fame.
No question.
Jalen Ramsey is walking into the Hall of Fame.
No question.
Matthew Stafford, he might get in. Matthew Stafford wasn't Super Bowl MVP. Cooper Kupp was. Aaron Donald is the one who ring me on the 4th down play, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Von Miller, we don't talk about. He was on the 2nd down play. So if we're talking about leading a team to a Super Bowl, we're rewriting history to suggest it was Matthew Stafford who led that team to a Super Bowl. That is completely rewriting history. Donald, Von, Ramsey led that team to a Super Bowl. Kupp, Super Bowl MVP. Matthew Stafford, he a dog. I'm with Chase. He a top 6 quarterback in football. At least maybe I'm with Shady. Shady said top 6 yesterday. I agree, top 6. I won't argue, though, about top 5. But to say, can he lead a team? He can be a part of a Super Bowl winning team, yes. Can he put the team on his back?
You ain't giving him enough credit.
That is not disrespectful, but that is.
You treat him like he's, like all the great players, and then it's just him. We see a lot of teams like that. He's not one of them guys.
I don't say that. But Donald, Von,
he
Ramsey,
threw the game-winning touchdown, Acho.
So Aaron Donald had the game-winning sack.
He threw the game-winning touchdown.
Do they win that without him? Because Aaron Donald's one of my best friends, right? And he's been there. They didn't win no championships until who got there? Who? Matthew Stafford. Soon he gets there, they go straight to the chip, and they win it.
First year,
first time, first everything.
Yeah.
I got y'all. So I think you need to give him a little bit more respect. And I think, yes, he still can lead a team to a Super Bowl. Okay, the best team in football, hands down, is the Eagles.
Yep.
Like, waking out of bed, we just better than everybody.
No doubt.
And if you're being honest, I mean, they almost got us. One play, and they're in the NFC Championship game. And I do think they beat the Commanders. We can all agree on that. I think they beat the Commanders.
More likely, probably.
All right, so yes. And this team this year was supposed to be a rebounding team.
Yeah, rebuilding.
Rebuilding team, right?
Last 2 years.
Okay, so when we start
them picks.
when you start talking about all this, like can he lead them and all that, like they had a young defense that we didn't know what they were going to be like, and they played well, right? Up and down with the injuries, with the wide receivers. Offensive line was up and down all year. Matthew Stafford kept that thing together, though. And there was one play for an NFC Championship game. So I think you're wrong there. Second thing is, the Rams, what we doing, dog? Pay this man his money because he earns it and he deserves it. Because when I look at the market, dog, this is what I hate about the quarterbacks right now in the league, the way that they're treating them. When I look at the market, you complain about giving him $50 million a year. When I start looking at the numbers, it's crazy. Dak is number one, making $60 million a year. He give you 9 years, 2 playoff wins, okay? Trevor Lawrence, oh, he's god-awful. He's making $55 million a year. And Matthew Stafford can't get 50? Jordan Love, I think he's good, but he's still fresh. He's still new. He's really new at this whole starting thing, right? He making $55 a year. Joe Burrow, he deserves it because he's Joe Burrow.
Yep.
Tua, though. Tua had one great year, always hurt, up and down. His best wide receiver saying, I'm trying to leave. And before Tua got some of the players, some of the coaching, we thought he was a bust. Correct? Mm-hmm. Should I keep going? Herbert, I mean, Kyler Murray making 46. What's he ever done? Deshaun Watson, I mean, they say that he might be over. And Matthew Stafford can't get $50 million? Yeah. And there's no shade against all these other quarterbacks. I'm just painting a picture here like, when you have a really good quarterback that can go to the Super Bowl and actually win a Super Bowl and change the Rams when he got there, why play with that dude's money? Give him his $50 million a year and keep it moving. Because if not, I mean...
You're disrespecting him.
And then these other guys, like, it's funny, man. I don't know because there's no real market in Jacksonville, but we never speak about how a guy like Trevor Lawrence in real life today could be making $55 million a year and there's no problem with it.
Yeah, no.
But when we talk about a guy like Matthew Stafford getting $50 million a year, it's an issue. What are we talking about?
Yeah, that's crazy. They need to pay Matt his money. But he absolutely can lead the right team to a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And even if you watch the Super Bowl that they won, I don't know if you remember the game, but it was some throws to where we like...
The no-look Jagger.
Oh, you understand what I'm saying?
Hold on. Come on, James. Let me do it real quick.
I got you. I got you.
That's Stafford, though.
It was some throws like that.
In the snow.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. And yes, Cooper Kupp did get Super Bowl MVP.
He deserved it.
But the main reason they were there, too, and they had a chance to win that game is the play of Matthew Stafford, too, and of Aaron Donald. It was some big-time players on that game. But the right team, he absolutely can lead to the Super Bowl. He led this Rams team to back-to-back playoff appearances.
Back-to-back.
And we were saying that this Rams team probably should finish 4th in the West. Yep. This Rams team is not going to make the playoffs. This Rams team is rebuilding. And what a Super Bowl franchise quarterback did was say, with me, we'll go to the playoffs. Now, with me, I can't take a less team to the Super Bowl. Correct. You know what I'm saying? But I can get us to the playoffs. But if I have a really good team, I can get to the Super Bowl. And when we get to the Super Bowl and that game is on that line, I got these throws.
I agree
whether
with
it's no look, whether it's look, whether it's in the air, whatever it may be, Matthew Stafford can make them play. So the right team, I absolutely believe Matthew Stafford can take them to the Super Bowl.
No doubt. I agree. I think the Rams a little bit are unreasonable in this situation. Like Shady said, just pay the guy. He wants $50 million. He's worth probably $55 million, if we're being honest, based on the list you just told me. But that just begs the question, like, what are the Rams going to do if they don't re-sign him and let him walk? Here's what I'm hearing, and it's crazy. Not Aaron Rodgers, not Russell Wilson. The Rams will be okay with Jimmy Garoppolo if they do not re-sign Matthew
He's trash.
Stafford.
I'm not here.
I don't agree with it at all. I think it's absolutely crazy. I have heard that they would be okay with Jimmy Garoppolo. And like we just had a whole conversation here about Matthew Stafford leading them to the Super Bowl. At one point, you got to say, there's no way Jimmy G's even remotely close to Matthew Stafford.
Because you know, Shady, he don't like talking about weak dudes. But, like, make this make sense to me, though. How do you go from a GM, Acho Chase, to being super aggressive, F them picks, I'm bringing Von Miller, I'm bringing OBJ, I'm trading all these picks for players and all that type stuff, and now you're saying, Cooper Kupp, you got to get gone, bruh. Matthew Stafford, we not trying to... What are you trying to do? It don't make sense.
How does that make any sense? I don't agree with it at all. That's just what I'm hearing. Like,
Maybe you're thinking you just rebuild. Maybe you're thinking you're
They are in the middle of a rebuild. They have the youngest defensive core in football, one of the best. You have one of the best guys and running backs in football, and you have one of the best receivers in football.
Here's the only thing that actually does make a lot of sense. The Rams are probably not winning a Super Bowl in the next 3 years because they are in the middle.
Bro, they were a play away last year, dog.
No, they were a play away from the NFC Championship.
But still,
there's a lot of assumption. There's a lot of assumption.
But my gosh.
But if they're not going to win a Super Bowl in the next 3 years, then you're probably saying, hey, we probably can't win a Super Bowl with Stafford. Not that Stafford's not good enough, but because Stafford will be 40. So maybe you're suggesting, and Chase, you brought this up yesterday, Stafford, you could still trade him for maybe 2 seconds, maybe a first. Maybe James thinks a first, but 2 seconds right now. Next year, by the time Stafford's 38 and a half, you're just not trading him for 2 firsts. Yeah, so the thought process is, hey, we can't win a Super Bowl with them. Let's trade him while we still can.
You still need a franchise quarterback. So go in, pay Matthew Stafford 2-year, $100 million deal. Draft Jackson Dart. Let Jackson Dart sit under Matthew Stafford and run Sean McVay's offense.
Or how about
Shady still hit.
Pay Matthew Stafford for a couple years and see what these other quarterbacks coming out next year.
Arch Manning, Drew
Allen. We got to get one this year.
We're done with Jimmy G, bro.
All right, thank you.
We're done. Yeah,
we're safe. Hey, we transfer, man.
Safe over here.
Gosh,
it's like we just playing around now.
Man.
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.